Welcome to Becoming Awesome with Peter D. channeling Archangel Michael.
Hey, beautiful people. I like starting off with a joke when I do these videos, and Archangel Michael is going to be channeling today. So I went and looked up all these angel puns, and they were just terrible. I mean, there was not a good angel joke in the list of hundreds. And so I started speaking to Archangel Michael. I said, hey, how come there aren't any funny angel jokes? And he looked at me and goes, seriously, Peter? Haven't we been telling you that the angelic realm has a lot to learn from humanity? So no joke today. Alrighty. We're going to be bringing in Archangel Michael here in just a second. He wants to speak about how to connect more to your angels. So please know this is a discussion. Put your comments below about any contacts you've made with the angelic realm. It'll be great for everybody to learn about that. And let's dive in. Let's welcome in Archangel Michael. Dearest, most beautiful. Yes, you. It's so funny to us in the angelic realm when we make this contact and we think of all the times in your literature and in your movies, there are people depicted groveling in the ground because the angels are on high. And, we see the exact same thing in you. Not the groveling. We see the you on high. We don't grovel because we know that you're just another magnificent soul and we understand you're a companion, but that is what we see. So when you think that you are looking at an angel or connecting with an angel and there's all this reverence and all this glory and beatifics of the heavens, that's what we see when we connect with you. That's who you are. So, beautiful beings, we wish to speak about making a better, stronger, more real connection with your angels. Many of you pray to angels. Many of you understand that different angels are there to do different things. There's books on angels, names and what they do and everything. And this is wonderful. But it's all mental 3D. And none of it gives you that real connection where you can feel the interchange of what we were speaking of earlier, the magnificence of who you are reflected back to you by an angel. So we want to speak of specific steps you can take to bring the angelic realm into your life in a very real way. The first step, figure out how you can connect to spirit. Now, the channel Peter has his book out, and he's so happy now because we're touting his book. And the third section of it is very specific instructions on how to speak to your sacred higher self. But you don't even have to buy the book. He's also produced a video where his higher self explains this, and we will ask him to link to that video below. Start practicing making contact with the spirit realm. Starts with your sacred self. But once you do that, then you can bridge into any realm, including the angelics, which is where we hope you will come. Because we want that connection with you. You see, in the past, the energies were such that there would be channels or seances where you did all this to get in touch with what is more than you. And when a person would channel, it would be often, oh, I'm a channel for, and they'd name the entity. Whereas you're seeing demonstrated by the channel Peter that he can speak to any entity because he knows that this is what's going on with the transition of the planet now. The energetics are such that as soon as you open up outside of your 3D realm, it's all available to you, including the angelic realm. So this is going to be available to you. Understand that you are a channel. It's innately given. Practice the steps to become such, because the energies of the planet are changing now to help and facilitate you. And you don't have to follow Peter's instructions. There's many ways to get there. Many ways to get there. Some of the more popular, common ways are often tied up in a lot of dogma. And so you have to either be okay with those kinds of teachings and adopt them, or start to look for other people who are like this channel Peter, who says, no, it doesn't have to be this way or that way. It's just a matter of connecting. But you're going to find that when you connect, then it's all available to you. And then you ask to be with the angels you resonate with. And we are saying this because we know that the angelic realm wants to connect with humanity. He was making a joke earlier about our lack of humor. And yes, we're laughing about that. Okay. But the truth is that we do have much to learn from humanity. This is why we're connected to you. This is why we choose to help you. And many, many angels are there. Okay. So that is our first point, is start your program of connecting to the spiritual realm. And when you do, then ask to speak with an angel. And it's not hard to do. It is not hard to do. We'll speak more of this in our second point. As he always says, Peter always says, clear, 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 clear. Because when you do, the blockage and the barriers are removed. And then it's just simply a matter of asking and practicing and listening and trusting what you hear. And then you're connected to the spirit realm. You let go of your doubts because it's in front of you. And then you can either choose to be your doubt or choose to be in connection. And the connection, of course, feels so much better. It is not hard to do. The clearing work means you have to be brave enough to face what it is you're holding. But, the energies of the planet are so strong right now that most of you are tired of living your life in that pain. So yeah, it may be a little work you have to put in, but as he jokes with when he's working with his clients, is like when he asks them to really grab the knife that's sticking in your heart because the pain's so bad, grab it by the handle and push it in deeper. And they go, what? And he just jokes with them and goes, seriously, do you want to suffer for 50 minutes or an hour and then be free? Or do you want to spend another 40 or 50 years suffering? It's not hard to do. You just have to step up to do it. And there's much, much help on how to do that clearing, how to do that connection. All right. That is our first point, is open yourself up to spirit. The second point is have tea with angels. Now, we say this because one of the Channel Peter's good friends used to tell stories of how he would have tea with angels and the cups would move. And this was fantastical to Peter. He's like, I want to get there. So he made this person his mentor. He literally called him up every week just to say, hi, how you doing? Talk to me because I want to talk to you because you got something I want. He learned that from being in AA. Find somebody who has something you want and ask him how he got it. So he just bothered the person until they became friends. And now he has tea with angels. Doesn't have cups moving yet, but he's been asking for signs of God living in his house. He's been asking to see things moved around and get sense of it, that God's in his house. And he's noticing, he's catching things out of the corner of his eye now. Ooh, that just happened. Oh, I just saw that there. So he's opening himself up to the realm. Now, we used to have tea with angels, both metaphorically and physically. It helps if you have some kind of ritual. And we don't mean that in a spiritual, religious sense. We mean that in a habitual sense. You do something regularly that then builds a neural network in you. And it could look like putting out the tea set and making a cup of tea for your angel friend and putting it next to you and say, hey, I got some tea. You want to come by? And then just start chatting like they're there. And you will start getting a response. So your ritual could be a cup of tea. It could be the more traditional on your knees and pray. And, if you're into all that, then that works for you. You could do that as well. It doesn't matter what it is. It's super, super funny that this evening in real time, the channel is going to be doing a ritual for some friends to help transmit some information to them. And he's just doing it how he was taught, They're going to get all their pictures of the divine and put them on the altar that they make. Then they're going to get some fruit and some candy, some chocolate and some nuts and some flowers and put it out there as offerings. Of course, they get to eat it after it's been blessed, right? So it's super extra nice. And, and then they're going to go through the ritual. But the whole point is you go through the ritual. You clean a space, you make it a sacred space, it becomes your altar, you put sacred objects on it, which are things you relate to. As you pray and connect, then it becomes more imbued with your consciousness. That is your ritual. Whether it's simple or prescribed by somebody's formula, the Indian homas, where you light the fire and you do the circles and you say the chant, very, very powerful. And you can do what's right for you, whether it's a cup of tea or not. So we ask you to create the ritual that you practice till you have contact with angels. Because we are in the realm and we have a certain energetic that I think you're going to find very nice as you allow it. You see, a lot of people in traditional histories and explanations of angels would talk about the presence when we show up, and they're aware of it. Of course, they embellish it with the lights in the sky and the halos and the auras and all that beautiful, beautiful stuff. And the wings. We love the wing part, even though that's not how it works in our dimension, but we love your description of the wings. And what's really going on is the person is trying to talk about the energetic presence that we are. You see, because of the frequency we vibrate and the dimensionality we are in, when we connect with you, there's automatic uplift. Because the more organized, cohesive energy always wins. That's how it is in reality. That's why you are so important, that you do your work and you raise your vibration and frequency. It's more organized, it's more coherent, therefore it has more effect in the world around you. So when you make your connection with us, you're helping the world around you, but you're helping yourself by entering into a frequency field that's more organized. Hence you call it divine, and it just feels good. And it's uplift, and of course it is all that stuff, and it affects you. So it doesn't matter what ritual you use. The point is to get into that field of connection. And in that field of connection, you're going to experience automatic uplift that's going to imbue you. That's why people sit there and say, oh, my heart was touched by an angel. Because quite literally, that's what the example is. And we, among the species that are there to help you, all the different star brothers and sisters and all the different dimensional creatures, we have a frequency that has historically worked with you in such a way to bring you to the uplift state very quickly, which is why we're inviting you now. Not to say, oh, just talk to angels and nobody else. There's lots out there. This channel loves talking to his star brothers and sisters. He loves talking to dimensional beings that have never been incarnate. Those are who he talks with. And it's all good. We're just saying that we have the unique place of being in a frequency that interacts with yours in a way that opens your heart. And that's why we want you to really reach out to angels. And of course, as we've said throughout this video and in other instances through this channel, this works both ways. You're helping us, you're teaching us. So it's a super good, what do your people call it on the planet, win-win? Yes, so we call it just love. All right, so that is the second point we wish to make. The third point we wish to make is find the specific angel connection that works best for you. There are many beautiful books of all the angels, and those books are incomplete, of course. They do not describe fully the beings of the angels, and it's also part of your 3D habit to force things into categories. Some of what you see are angels that are described here and there are one single angel, and it's not this one here who does that and that one does that. It's just expressing their different character in different ways. If you have access to books like this, or even your beautiful internet, just scan through. Do a search for different qualities of angels. Do a search for different pictures of angels. And see which ones you go, ooh, I like that. And then name it. And make that the one you invite to tea. Because it'll be resonant with you. Now, in your Catholic religion, there's a description of many of the qualities of saints. This is the saint you pray to when you want this outcome. We want you to expand that concept to the angelic realm. And it's not, oh, this angel has this quality, so you connect with it and you get that. It's more like, I'm interested in this quality. I know it exists in the angelic realm. Let me connect with beings who have it so it can infuse me more. That's what we mean by find your specific angel, your resonant angel, the one that's going to give you that best back and forth. You understand that it's all frequency, and that usually is depicted as sine waves that move up and down. So you want to find the one that matches you, and then you move into coherence with it, and then it lifts you, and then what happens is your peaks get higher, and you then have a better, smoother wave. And that is what we as the angelic realm offer you. Now, you may see this expressed in 3D as miracles, or I prayed for this and this angel showed up and I had the strength to lift the car off my wounded son or something like that. And that does happen. That does happen, and that's how you express it. But really, on the scientific level, you've matched your harmony. And it also happens that in those stories, it's usually in the time of crisis the angel comes to you. And part of that, unfortunately, is that that's when you let your guard down. You know, we're trying to be in contact with you, your source, the divine. Everyone is trying to, anyone who is love is trying to be in contact with you, because that is the nature of our essence, and the nature of love is to make this connection. But we can't, we keep blocking off. Yeah. So when you hit yourself into a crisis, then, you know, you freak out. You see this in your popular literature where people pray at the last minute. Okay, God, I'll be a good person now. I'll do this if you just do that for me. Of course, God loves a bargain. But the point is, they're willing to finally let go of all their blockages because they're in a moment of crisis. Now, you don't have to wait till you're in crisis to allow. You can just start practicing allowing, as we said in our second point, have tea with us. So you get used to that frequency. There's a trick that was given to when Peter first was initiated in the wholeness blessing that I sourced, the Archangel Michael sourced to the planet through a different group he was involved in. They would have people stand up, and he would put his hands on either side at their heart and their back, and see the energetic flow through it, and he would allow that to flow. And then we would tell him whether or not to have the person sit down or not. And usually the sitting down part would be, they'd have to engage their brain for a second and then figure out how to get in their chair. And because they were engaged for a second, they would lose their resistance, and we would slip in and the cycle would just flow. So it was really just a trick. It wasn't really like they needed to sit down. It was just a trick to get them out of the way. Peter has since used this when he's working with clients. He'll ask them, shrug your shoulders real tight. Now let out with an exhale. And he'll do that in the middle of a transmission of sending the person a blessing. Because they're focusing on that, they get out of the way for a second and it just slips in. You see, Peter understands this very, very well, because it will look like he is giving the blessing or he is sending this transmission. And all he has done is get out of the way. He's mastered the art of getting out of the way. It's a beautiful thing. It's like he read a children's book once where somebody was always late and everybody complained about it, until he realized it was a superpower when the bad guys were shooting at him and he was late for where the bullets were showing up. So he loves telling that story. So this is actually your superpower, getting out of the way. All right. And that's what he has mastered to the degree he's mastered it. So that when these blessings come, it is not him. He gets out of the way and we can send the wholeness blessing. When he's sending directly from source, he can get out of the way, and through his eyes you can look. And people say when they look at him when he does this, they see their own God looking back at them, because that's a sign of how much he's gotten out of the way. Now, we're telling you all this to say, get out of the way. So you're connecting with us. You're asking to receive those energies that you're in alignment with. You've named the angel, which you can find as the one you relate to, or you can just ask for the energetic of the angelic realm to show up, and then start the connection, and then ask who showed up. And you'll know. A lot of people are afraid, oh, how do I know bad people won't show up? Well, you're not ready to do this if you're still in the reality that you can attract bad. You need to learn the steps that, again, this channel teaches, that you're sovereign. Nothing comes into your consciousness without your permission. So you just simply only invite in that which you love. And of course, that's why we said earlier about the clearing part, because if you haven't cleared stuff, then unconsciously you'll keep attracting that. So anyway, you're not going to worry about whether or not the love and the goodness will come to you. You're going to be more focused on making the connection and allowing it to come to you. And then you can ask the name of the angel and you'll have that relationship. And the key to having that relationship, of course, is getting out of the way, relaxing enough to receive it. So we hope that this has helped you and inspired you. If nothing else, there was the moment we connected at the beginning, and there was the energetic that is underlaid on this entire video of how much in our realm there is love. And the more you can just let your unconscious step aside, you may be listening to this message and watching it, but there's an energetic transmission here. Can you get out of the way enough to receive it? And then when you can, you're going to have the blessings that are available to you. Know it's possible to connect with the angelic realm. Figure out what you need to do to make your connections beyond you. This is the new energies, the new earth. You can speak to all rather than just one entity. Once you do that, have tea with your angels, and then get out of the way and connect with the energy or the angel that you best relate to, that brings that uplift to you. We are so excited. The channel Peter is so excited. He loves it when he channels us. So when he channels anybody, quite honestly, because their frequency is so high, because he can be all curmudgeon-y and in his mind and all, and then he sits down and does his channel and he's like, oh, because he allows himself to be in that field. And that's what we're asking you to do. Allow yourself to be in the angelic realm. Let us play together. Let us even laugh together. Blessings to you. Okay, Archangel Michael was in rare form, or I was allowing that rarity to come through. It was quite nice. You heard his 3 points. Practice connecting more with what's beyond you. Then have tea with your angels. Then allow it. Pick the energy you relate to and then allow it. Yeah. And so please write your comments below. And if you have any good angel jokes, put them in, because I want to do more videos and I like starting off with the jokes. If you got any good one, put them in the comments as well. Share this video, please. Other people who are interested in the angelic realm, especially this side of angels, because it's so not churchy. That's for sure. And then like and subscribe. We need that to keep boosting the channel up, because this is the engine that drives everything that I am doing to help, both support my wife and I, and more importantly, or as importantly, help humanity on our uplift. Okay, love you.